Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Another beautiful Friday afternoon here in sunny Mexico. I'm very glad to have Angeles on the show today. How are you, Angeles?
Fine. Very happy to stay here with you and with your audience. Congratulations for all of this program, showing to all the work what are we doing here in Mexico. Thank you very much for this moment.
Sure, thank you. So we met a couple of weeks ago, and then we had a nice panel a week ago on the Hanover Messe, where you made some very good specific points about education, about how software can transform industries and actually lives as well when we apply ourselves. And today I wanted to present your company, the cluster you work with, and what's your role there, and of course also go a little bit deeper into artificial intelligence as it continues to come up as one of the disruptive technologies. And honestly, I believe that lots of people don't grasp it really yet, right? We don't grasp it, we can't touch it, we don't feel it yet, but maybe we can dissect it a little bit, get a little bit deeper, get some more understanding, and learn from you what you have lived over those years now working with this technology.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want you to explain what are we doing here in the cluster. I know that all of you or the most of you are related with this kind of organization. We work with a triple helix. For one hand, we are working with the universities. For the other hand, with the industry and also with the government, the state government from here, from Nuevo León, Mexico. We have three main strategies. One of them is human capital. The second one is innovation and entrepreneurship. And the third one is human capital. Inside all of these three, for the three main initiatives, we also are working with different kind of groups, focusing in the different sectors, main sectors that we have here in Mexico. For example, we are working with the manufacturing group, with another group focusing in smart cities, agro-food, fintech, health tech. We also have another group of cybersecurity, and also we are working with a group of in the retail sector. So we have been working with all of these lovely word of the Industry 4.0, and one of the most important technologies that we have touched in this moment is artificial intelligence. For all of our companies or the universities and the organizations that we are working with, the artificial intelligence have been growing, have been more and more important in all the organizations. Even in the universities, Mexican universities, okay, they have been working with different kind of subjects, focusing, etc., in artificial intelligence. Why? Because even more and more this important technology, it's working here in Mexico. Not only we are importing from the United States, mostly, or Europe. Right now, we are working with some of our own companies that are established here in Mexico, in Nuevo León, in Coahuila, Tamaulipas, etc., that are the state of the north part. We are working with some of them, having different kind of projects. Actually, we have here in the cluster in Artificial Intelligence Center, Innovation Center.
Okay.
Working for this kind of projects, focusing in, as I told you before, retail, health tech, fintech, and very, very important, because you know that here in Mexico and in the north part, we are focusing also in the manufacturing.
Yeah.
So we are here, these kind of centers or these kind of investigators and the people that are around of that artificial intelligence are focusing in manufacturing, the main of this. During all of this time, we have been a lot of cases, successful cases, focusing in different kind of sectors. For example, we have been in the manufacturing area, for example, we have been working with the predictive maintenance with all of our machines that we have here in companies as since a company, there's very small companies to a company as Nemak, Metalsa, that you know that are suppliers from some branches as Ford, Chevrolet, etc. So
Okay.
all of these examples that you have working with, we also try to put it not only in the big companies as I know that you work with. Here we have a lot of small and medium companies that we are trying in the cluster to give all of this knowledge in order that they use more and more this kind of technology, the artificial intelligence, in their processes. Maybe we are trying that they can start with the chatbot in their own web pages, to start with these small steps, but they can start with artificial intelligence that, as you put here, we have this kind of different steps that you have to follow in order that you adapt, because this is very important sometimes, and this is a very, very good question, that the people in all the companies, even if you are a big company, all the people, or almost all the people, think that it is very expensive to adapt in your company.
And very complicated and long time to program it.
And you need a lot of people that have very high level of programming knowledge or something like that. But this is very, I know that you have to love, but it is not difficult as everybody thinks, because we are going to talk about this, but right now you can get a lot of courses on the web about programming, to focusing in this kind of knowledge. But talking about the different kind of uses that you can find not only in the manufacturing area, because you can find, or we have analyzed some cases in the health area. For example, we can find some cases even here in Mexico about this kind of use in our hospitals, in order that you and they can define what is the treatment that they can to use for different kind of illnesses, because of that artificial intelligence that they can find, this kind of tools that they can find in the hospitals. Here in Monterrey, in Nuevo León, we have used some of these artificial intelligence intelligence in some of our hospitals in order to define these kind of treatments. In cancer, for example, in here we have this different kind of disease. Here in Mexico, some in Europe, maybe there are not as common as here.
Common, yeah.
But here we can use artificial intelligence to define the treatment for these kind of people. So these have been very useful for the doctors, for the Mexican doctors, in order to adapt this kind of tool to get easier, to cheaper the treatments. That you know that here we don't have a very big budget from the federal government to apply all of these treatments to all the people, the common people.
So let me take this very specific use case, and I love it a lot, because usually I'm working with many machines and I'm working with robots, right? But here, of course, you talk about a specific use case where you use intelligence, artificial intelligence, to define treatment, to get the most efficient and most inexpensive treatment for the patient. So if you would have to describe what artificial intelligence actually does in maybe only 5 words, what would it be? What does it do?
They give you easier answers to the problem, or to the thing that you want to solve. I think it could be more exactly, if you use the artificial intelligence, it could be more precisely to the you want to get. It could be cheaper than if you use different kind of ways of sorry.
So at the end, what it does is it takes a set of data and analyzes that data and comes to a conclusion on what options the person at the end has, or what decision to take. So this is at the end what it does, right? And as you mentioned, there is many different branches. So in this specific case with the hospital, I'm going to show the different branches, right, of artificial intelligence, because it's so huge, right? So what specific branch of artificial intelligence did you use now in the specific case of the hospital? Was it more like big data? Was it more machine learning? Was it actually a neural network? What did you apply here, and how did it work?
I think sometimes in different kind of cases they use different kind of branches, but I think the cases that we have here in the cluster, they use big data, of course, to analyze all the information that they get. Even if we are in Mexico, that sometimes is different to get the data because of many things that we have here, but they use the big data in order to get all the information and to predict all the solutions. Sometimes if we are talking about the manufacturing sector, we also use here in Mexico and in the cluster the machine learning. They uses this kind of information in order to get this kind of predictivity here in the processes. Sometimes for the robotics area, when they uses also artificial intelligence, sometimes you use neural networks and different kind of things with expert systems, for example, of course, the robotics. When also now with the pandemic, we use here in Mexico the robotics in different kind of plants here, because they can have the contact with the humans.
Oh, that's true.
So they the robotics here. You are here in your house and you are managing the robotic that is in the plant. And even here in Mexico, the robotics have been used in the hospital too, in order to get the contact with the COVID patients and etc. So in different kind of cognitive computing is also using here for different kind of fields. Even in the agro-food area, we have found this kind of branches used in different kind of sectors. But all of these we have been used here in the cluster.
Incredible. So that basically means that depending on the application, you would then choose the right people to work on the project. You would make a project scope, a requirement, a scope of requirement, or a scope of work, and then you would assign the specific people, maybe people that you already have, or maybe people from companies, or maybe people from the schools or universities, right? And then they would work on those projects. So if we talk about, because I also want to size it, because you mentioned very interestingly that it doesn't have to be always a big spend. It doesn't have to be always big money. So for example, if we talk about a specific case, so we have a motor on a press, and the motor breaks down regularly, and we want to make a predictive model for this motor in order to prevent the breakdown and be able to replace the motor before it breaks, right? I think it's a very common use case. So what kind of sensors you would apply, and what kind of how long would you think the algorithm would take to be learned, or be trained, or be built and trained?
I think the more specialized of the information, it is going to be the better result.
Okay.
So if you get, I have heard about the experts in all of these things. If you receive more information, if it's more usable, this kind of application or software or whatever you are getting the information, whatever tool you are using.
Okay.
The result is going to be better, more specific, using all of the algorithms. So it's if you are trying to get all of this information for this kind of machine that you just mentioned, you have to try to get the most information that you can. So all of these could be more specific, precisely the result. One of very, very famous cases, this application, the waste application that all of us use, or is very usable here in Mexico.
Yeah, sure.
That uses artificial intelligence. If the most if a lot of people use this kind of application, they get more information, and the result will be more specific.
Okay.
Trying to give you the specific or the precisely way that you have to get. This is a very good example, and the same happened in the manufacturing area, in the health area, and with the machines that you just mentioned before.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we not only can take maybe RPM, rotations per minute, but we also have to have maybe a temperature sensor or a vibration sensor, right? Or additionally, a electrical load sensor. And then with 4 inputs, we can actually find the correct intercorrelation to get to the problem. That's a very good point. I like it a lot. I think I've never thought about that way. So we need to think upfront what could have the effect, what could affect the machine, and try to extract that information, not only the information that's already there.
Yes, and some engineers say also that you have to select the information because you are going to get a lot of information that some of them is spam.
Useless.
Then, you have to select what is information that you need to predict something to use for the algorithm. So you have to select what information do you need for every single result that you want to use. So this information you use for this specific algorithm, and you are going to have this specific result. So you have to select also the information that you need for each kind of result that you need.
Incredible. So you've been talking about those engineers, right? We don't know who they are yet. I believe that there's already a big number of people working in this. You said, and it's completely true, that usually we import this knowledge from Asia, from Europe, from the US. But both of us, we believe that in the future, Mexico can be a big exporter of this kind of knowledge, of this kind of programming manpower, and there is going to be Mexican startups and companies that will grow and will expand into other regions, and maybe in very specific use cases, as you mentioned, right? Maybe in healthcare, maybe in specific manufacturing applications, because that's what happened in a lot of here, right? So if somebody is now super keen and says, you know what, I want to get a little bit deeper into this, I want to really focus my career or shift my career towards this kind of very well remunerated jobs that have the potential to even be exported, or you have interaction with other countries, what are the key skills that people have to acquire, and what have you seen has helped the people grow in this industry fast?
First of all, you want to you have here this kind of skills. So first of all, I have to mention that you want to be part of the artificial intelligence. You want to love this because sometimes the passion is the number one. So as soon as you get this passion, even if you don't know what is the program that you have to use, what is the skill, what are the skills that you have to be part of. So the first thing is that the passion that you want to be part of this, that is a very emotive area. I love all of this part of that technological thing in my life. And you put it here that when I read, I said this is the correct, there are the correct steps that you have to follow. And you have here knowledge of programming languages that you have to select. There are some programming languages that you have to follow, that you have to select, that you have to, of course, to study. The second one is, of course, that if you are in this world of the technology, the mathematical skill, and you have to be part in the strong way this mathematical skill. And the third step that we put it here is the mastery of statistics and probability. Of course, you have to be part of this. It's very necessary that you have this knowledge. But also is very lovely, this part of the knowledge. I love this part of my career. And the next step, because I put it one in the top, is efficiency in all of these tech tools. Okay, adapting, be part of, to be part of this, they part of you. So if you have all of these 5 steps, you are going to be a part, or you are going to have this kind of job in the artificial intelligence. And you mentioned something that is very, very important right now about the Mexican talent. I think we are preparing a lot of students and people that are in another, not only students right now, people that they just took a career in different kind of areas, that they are getting this kind of skills and knowledge.
Okay.
I think Mexico, in a short term, it could be a very potential country exporting this kind of talent to all over the world. Because right now, we are trying to prepare this muscle in the mathematics field,
Okay.
very, very strong. And I think all of these, all of the things that we are seeing right now, all the results we're going to have in the short or medium term. So please don't forget Mexico. Don't because we are going to have a lot of potential people right now here in the cluster. Actually, we are preparing children every year with our universities, the universities that are part of the cluster. We are trying to prepare children from 12 to 17 years old, with all of these, preparing with all of these skills that we are just mentioned. Why? Because we think that if we prepare these people, the children, our children, loving the mathematics, loving the statistics, loving these kind of subjects that are lovely, they are going to be part of our lives. There is a
Sure.
saying here in Mexico that the Latin American people hate the mathematics. That thing is not true, because it happens to me. When you learn that the mathematics are funny, are lovely, and you can build a lot of things through mathematics, and you can live, and you can be part of your life, because they help you to decide in your life, is 1 or is 0. It is not point in the middle. So you can decide what is going to happen in your life. You are going to be a very strong people. So we are trying to do that in the cluster. It is going to be, it right now is part of our mission to prepare all of this field for the future. So it is very important what you just mentioned.
Very nice. Like that is really an incredible description, and I rarely hear somebody talking that passionate about artificial intelligence, about the key skills behind it. And as you mentioned, like with mathematics, you can describe so many things. With statistics and probability, you can actually predict some of the stuff that's going to happen in your life, right? Or make a life decision based on numbers and based on actually a weighted form, right? Or the weighted decision tree. So basically all this knowledge that you acquire in your profession will also help you in life to take better decisions. I think that's a very lovely ending. Just maybe to wrap it up, always in our careers, we find ourselves with people that have made a huge change in their career, a huge impact. So maybe if you have somebody, right? Maybe if you want to salute somebody, somebody that has maybe grown through your organization and has now made a career or has achieved some incredible developments, somebody that you can think of where you can give some people an example what this person actually did and how the person grew through this experience.
Yes, I have a person who is it's a woman. It's Mrs. Blanca Treviño. She is the CEO of Softec. I admire her because she's as a woman. She has been doing a lot of things through technology, and right now she is helping a lot of kids, a lot of people here in Mexico through the technology changes their lives. So since I met her as not only in person, but her life, her all the knowledge that she has been growing here in Mexico, I admire her, and she has been doing a lot of things here in Mexico through the technology, through her company, and through her example. So
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. I will definitely look her up. Let's see if we can invite her on the show as well, if she would be open to do it. Thank you for that recommendation. And as you mentioned, there is lots of people that have done given incredible value to many people. So we need to give them the platform so they can expose what they are doing and why they are doing it and how they are doing it, because that's what people are interested in. I thank you very much. That was really incredible. The touch of really being so connected to the people through the technology. I think that's what fascinates most in all of this journey that I've personally had as well. I thank you very much, Angeles. I wish you a great weekend. Get some rest with the family, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this moment. It was a great time talking to you.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Oh, thank you.
Bye bye.